NZ.
Kiwi FM
102.2 Auckland.
The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Yes, joining me now to talk about his new outfit. Yes, it's Paul McLaney. You might remember him from such bands as Gramsci, or just plain old Paul McLaney, or even as part of the Fly My Pretties project, amongst many other collaborations that he's done over the years as well. Joins me on the phone this morning. Good morning to you, Paul.
Good morning, Wammo.
And another project on the go. This one...
Another outfit. another change of clothes.
Yeah, this one called the Nameless Sons. Now the Nameless Sons featuring Paul McLaney. It's the Nameless Sons. I think the people at Sounday just put that in there so people might have more of an idea. So they understand. Because you're
definitely it's a triumvirate.
It's a what? A triumvirate.
A triumvirate, yes.
Oh. So what does that mean? There's what, three of you?
It's a three-person democracy. Yes.
Right. Okay. Who are the other band members?
The drummer's a guy called Malcolm Blake, who played in Luma, one of my favourite bands, and the bass player is a guy called Andy Park, who is mainly playing in UK bands, things like Dream City Film Club, and tour around the world with Nick Cave and people like that. So, yeah.
Now, is this a serious Paul McLaney project, or is this just one you've cobbled together?
Now this is I've seriously cobbled this one together.
Right, so this one's for a purpose. It's like you're going to release an album or something.
Yep, the idea at the moment is we're going to release 7 inches.
Okay.
Every sort of 3 months or so.
Yeah.
Just more of an experiment to see how you can bring out songs one or two at a time. Is sort of I have this feeling that if you put out an album, you sort of putting out 10 songs in February or whatever it is, then by the time September rolls around, all of those songs are old. But if you put them out, if you sort of piecemeal release them, then
they're all burnt.
They're all new, and young, and fresh, and virile.
And I suppose in some ways, everyone in the music biz is trying to work this out now. I mean, how music should be or can be released into the future that makes sense.
Yeah, but the main thing about the Nameless Sons as well is I just really missed playing for want of a better word, Gramsci style, rock music. Where you're actually sort of, everything's about 130 BPM and a band that's been put together really to entertain a crowd of people.
Yeah.
So sometimes I think it's easy to lose sight of the fact that when the main purpose of music is entertainment. You're there to entertain a room full of people or a field full of people who are paid for the privilege. It's not you standing there to pat me on the back for how interesting and forward-thinking my music is.
That's really refreshing to hear, because I think some artists get up on stage and go and almost have their back to the audience and say,
Well, it's that difference. I think some artists get up and they think that the audience is there for them, and I sort of think it should be the other way around. You're there for the audience to give them something and hopefully exhilarate them for 45 minutes or what have you. And the other thing about the Nameless Sons is I always said if I got back into doing rock music that I didn't want to do that laborious studio process, and so every track that we're releasing will be recorded live. So the first single comes out in about a week or so. That's called Forgive and Forget. And we that was all tracked live in the studio at Roundhead. I was thinking, harkening back to things like the early Beatles stuff, and then or obviously things like Led Zeppelin, where you can actually hear the conversation between the players rather than just some sort of stylized, perfect idea. And I think anyone can go in and into a studio, even with a home setup, you can fix anything. You can move the kick drums and the snare drums around, get them all perfectly in time, do your vocals a million times until they're exactly how you want them to be, and redo guitar parts and stitch them together. This way, we just go in and we rehearse, and then we play it all and hopefully capture it all in about 4 minutes.
All in one go, which is how it all used to be, really, didn't it?
All the early stuff, like the Elvis stuff and the early Beatles stuff and Led Zeppelin and the Stones. You can't imagine the Rolling Stones going on for Exile on Main Street and sort of putting down all the drums first and then doing all the basses and then doing all the guitars.
And it almost reaffirms probably how most people think music is normally recorded, that a band all plays together in the studio.
Well, I think you can hear it when it is, and also it's not that there's nothing more disappointing than having a band that you really like from the record and then going to see them live and the singer can't sing and the drummer can't keep time.
Now, Is this new project, the Nameless Sons, is it the alternative to having the Gramsci project once again? I mean, is it your rockier side rather than what we're hearing in the background, your solo side?
No, it's definitely about 7 notches up on the volume meter.
Yeah.
It's sort of a band I should have been in when I was about 18, I think. It's
Okay.
like, it's like referencing things for me like 17 Seconds by The Cure and, the first sort of 2 Police records,
Yeah.
It's sort of like a rock. I also think, with rock bands, I have all these rules in my head for whatever reason, I don't know. But a lot of people just confuse passion with a distortion pedal. And so one of the things with Nameless Sons is we're not using distortion, but saying that, taking a lick out of AC/DC's book, there's 1 guitar sound, 1 bass sound, and 1 drum sound, and within that you really have to test the parameters of that to make that interesting.
Yeah. You say that you're going to be recording next week, so will we be able to hear, or you're going to release something next week? So we're going to be hear something next week?
Yes, definitely. You'll be the first people to get it, I'd say.
Oh wow, that'll be a privilege.
Yeah,
Look forward to that. And of course, the people in Christchurch this weekend, they'll be able to see
hear it before anybody else.
Yeah, before anyone. They'll be the really privileged people at Hagley Park on Saturday, the 30th of January. Have you guys played out before?
No, this is the first
It's the
gig.
first time.
We played funnily enough, at a Cure benefit gig for breast cancer, but we basically played 2 Cure songs and 2 of our songs.
Right. So
But, this will be the first. Yeah.
This could be absolutely amazing, or it can be a complete shambles, Paul.
We've been rehearsing for a year, so hopefully it'll be a quite well organised shambles.
What about your other projects? Solo stuff. You still
Got a new track with Coco Dawn coming out.
Okay.
Got a new track with Rhombus. New track with Rin Sheen.
Wow.
And a new solo record coming out as well later in the year.
Man, you're busy as at the moment.
Oh, it's good times. I can't see any reason not to be busy.
Yeah, no, exactly. So 2010 is going to be a good year for Paul McLaney.
It feels like it's getting off to a good start.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you are in Christchurch, do check out the Nameless Sons. Paul McLaney's.
It should be a great festival. There's a lot of great bands playing. Phoenix Foundation and Don McGlash and Module. Should be great.
Yeah, Module, of course, who you've collaborated with before.
His new album is amazing. It's not out yet, and he hasn't finished it yet, but it's amazing.
Talking about busy musicians, he's right up there with the busiest at the moment as well, with his soundtrack duties and games, and as well as his own stuff.
Definitely.
The Handsome Family are also playing as well, which is going to be interesting.
Yeah, that's another great thing to have in the belt. I'm sure, knowing the organisers of Sound Day, I can tell this is a serious proposition for an ongoing annual festival.
Yes.
So, yeah, they're doing a great job, and it's very well organised.
So, Sound Day 2010, Christchurch's favourite summer events on the grass in Hagley Park. Go check it out.
That's like the Wembley of Christchurch.
It is. Isn't it? It's. I reckon it's probably better. It's nicer.
Probably like Twickenham.
Yeah.
Twickenham of Christchurch.
Go and check it out. I'm very jealous that everyone else will be able to see the Nameless Sons before I can. But I'm looking forward to hearing some next week. Paul McLaney, and looking forward to seeing you again soon as well. See ya.
Cheers, mate.
Let's hear some Gramsci, just the fading moments of this Gramsci song. It's all we have at the moment, you see. We don't have the full hog. The Nameless Sons. We have to wait till next week.
Each and every